This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 17th day of May in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Foreign Relations will meet on the 3rd of June to discuss developments at Guyana's border with Venezuela. The date for the meeting was announced today by Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, after Opposition Member of Parliament Amanzo Walton Desir attempted to use the time allotted to her to debate the Sea and River Defense Bill to call for the reconvening of the Sectoral Committee on Foreign Relations, after her motion to address the issue was blocked by the Speaker. In blocking the motion, the Speaker told the National Assembly that it was not a matter of urgent importance.
I would not allow her to speak because it's not a matter of urgent, definite public importance. And I want to say to every member, in fact, in the last 24 hours, I did receive 2 notices. One was withdrawn. Some of these notices, I could use a very harsh word, but some of these questions under this heading, they first need to be discussed internally and also with the clerk. You know, I can understand the politics of a member wanting to raise and then said, I brought 50 motions under this heading and the Speaker never allowed one. I understand the politics of that. But there are rules that govern this particular heading, and the matter has to be urgent.
MP Walton Desir has been pushing for the Sectoral Committee on Foreign Relations to meet amid the increasing acts of aggression by neighboring Venezuela. The committee last met in November of last year, more than 6 months ago. Outside the parliamentary chambers, the opposition MP told News Source that the motion was not an attempt to get the Minister of Foreign Affairs, UTOD, to convene the Foreign Relations Committee.
I have written at least 3 times for the year asking UTOD, the Minister, to convene a meeting of the Sectoral Committee. Why? Because there are so many important developments happening within the context of the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy. And the people of Guyana have no updates. This government has been quiet except for 1 or 2 very vague and mundane press statements issued. The last meeting of the sectoral committee was in November of 2023. Since that time, Venezuela has passed an organic law annexing legislatively the Essequibo. There has been buildup of troops on the Guyana-Venezuela border, both in the interior and on the Atlantic coast. We have seen videos of infrastructure works being done, of airfields being constructed, of bridges being built, of intensified civil works on Ankoko Island, and not a word from this government to say to the people of Guyana, this is what is happening.
She said it was unfortunate that the Speaker did not recognize the need or urgency for the Sectoral Committee to meet, not next month but now amid the developments. A recent video surfaced showing a bridge being built by Venezuelan troops, with the claim by Caracas that it is being built to link Venezuela with Guyana's Essequibo region. Addressing the issue yesterday, Vice President Bara Jagdeo explained that while Venezuela was only entitled to half of the Ankoko Island, the Spanish-speaking country more than 50 years ago took control of the entire island forcibly. According to him, the bridge currently under construction is being built on the Venezuelan side of the island. However, the government has alerted the international community on the recent development.
We have made it clear, and the relevant bodies have been written to, consistent with the Argyle Agreement and the provisional measures announced by the ICJ. We have notified all of the relevant partners, both of a multilateral and bilateral nature, about the continued attempts by Venezuela to build up a presence at our border in a threatening posture, and that it's inconsistent with what we agreed to. which is that we want to keep this region as a zone of peace.
The Vice President said the country remains vigilant and is paying close attention to all of the developments in the bordering regions. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
excitement and win the chance of a lifetime with Lucozade Energize Your Drive promotion. Enter to win a fully loaded Toyota CHR or a ton of cash. $500,000 and $250,000 respectively. Just purchase 2 or more Lucozade 360 milliliter at participating outlets. Write your contact details on the back of the receipt and place them in the marked boxes nationwide. It's that simple. And you're on your way to energize your drive with Lucozade. This promotion runs April 12th to June 7th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply.
After stinging nettles, stink and dirty,
moderation, and soca and wine,
it's time to cool down
with soca star Patrice Roberts.
Looseness in my waist, not to lose my shade.
Patrice Roberts,
Nesta, and more
at Cabisa Cool Out Beach Party.
Link your crew
As we close off the Genesis Independence Weekend the right and proper way.
on Monday, the 27th of May, the holiday.
At Kingston Beachfront.
Drinks, friends, and soca vibes.
Admission $3,000 early bird.
Cabisa Cool Out.
Please drink responsibly.
Guyanese are set to benefit from improved healthcare services countrywide. You will have access to specialized world-class hospitals, well-trained nurses, doctors, and other health professionals. The sum of $129.8 billion earmarked in Budget 2024 to create a resilient health sector is a mammoth increase from the $90.2 billion budgeted in 2023. Revenues earned from oil production support the fostering of a healthy nation through budgetary support for national development.
Let's tell you now that Vice President Barbara Jagdeo has declared that the government of Guyana will treat exports from Trinidad and Tobago in the same manner that Guyanese products are treated by the Twin Island Republic. There were recent concerns about the return of a shipment of packaged milk to Guyana from Trinidad. Trade officials in Trinidad and Tobago have since clarified that it was the importer and distributor of the product that returned the shipment and not the Trinidadian authorities. But at a press conference yesterday, Vice President Jagdeo said Guyana will deal with Trinidadian exports the same way that Trinidad deals with Guyanese exports.
Going forward, that we will insist upon full reciprocity in matters of trade. That the way our goods and our exports are treated across the region, but in this particular case in Trinidad and Tobago, the same way their goods entering into Guyanese market would be treated. Full reciprocity on all of the issues.
With regards to the recent dairy products spat, it was explained that the existing standard for the importation of milk into Trinidad and Tobago requires all importers to apply for an import permit from the Animal Production and Health Division. The Trinidadian importer did not have the required permit. The Vice President said Guyana might soon make similar requirements for Trinidadian exports.
Because if they can insist on phytosanitary tests that we don't implement for their goods, but they want to conduct on our goods before they enter into their market, then we will have to deal in the same manner as they're doing with our goods.
Mr. Jagdeo also said Guyana's position is not new, adding that the government of Guyana will continue to push for the elimination of trade barriers in the Caribbean region.
This is not a new issue, and our position is not a new position. We've always been in the forefront of the fight for the reduction of trade barriers in our region. We believe it's essential to the promotion of wealth and the growth of trade across CARICOM.
According to the Vice President, Guyana has had good trade relations with Trinidad and Tobago over the years and doesn't intend to stir up a fight, but it will insist on its products being treated fairly in the Trinidadian market and the markets across the region. The leader of the People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, today confirmed that the party's delegates Congress and elections will take place on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of June. As News Source first reported yesterday, the Central Executive Committee of the party met on Wednesday and agreed to those dates. At a press conference this morning, Mr. Norton said the Congress will be held under the theme Forming the Next Government, Building a Just, Inclusive, and Prosperous Society for All.
Was chosen to reflect the party's determination to return to government in the next general elections and to implement its people-centered development strategy. Party delegates and members from all 10 regions will be attending Congress in person. There will be no virtual attendance. Arrangements have already started.
The PNC Reform leader said the upcoming Congress is expected to be one of the largest, most spirited, and most important in the party's history. He said the party's Congress and elections will be transparent, as the party also seeks to improve on its transparency.
The party's Congress have always been transparent. That doesn't mean that they don't have problems, and we will continue to improve the transparency. The steps that we will take are internal to the party.
And Mr. Norton today dismissed reports that he's heading the party's Congress committee as false and foolish. He said anyone who knows the PNC would know that it is an accreditation committee that overlooks the party's Congress and elections. He said he's not the head of any such committee. Norton will be seeking re-election as party leader. However, he's expected to face challenges from party executive members Roysdale Ford and Amanza Walton Desir. Both Ford and Walton Desir have indicated their readiness to accept nominations for the post of party leader and other top positions in the party's executive structure. And the Alliance for Change will elect new leadership when that party hosts its national conference on the 29th of June. AFC General Secretary Sherrod Duncan made the announcement today. Incumbent party leader Kemraj Ramjatan has indicated that he does not intend to seek re-election.
I know our leader Kemraj has stated to the party, and I think he said it to the press too, that he intends to step back and allow some fresh faces to come forth. I am still considering what I'm doing. I'm very focused on finishing my term as General Secretary very, very strong.
The positions of leader, chairman, vice chairman, and general secretary are among the key positions up for grabs in the AFC elections. According to the General Secretary, the AFC's future with its coalition partner, the APNU, will be among the issues on the agenda to be discussed, in particular the Cummingsburg Accord.
We had an engagement with our coalition partner, the PNCR, about 2 weeks ago, and we did say as part of that meeting that we would delay discussing it until we came out of our respective conferences. We were hoping that theirs would have been at the end of August. We see it's a little close to ours, but we have no fear. We don't share the same delegates, so we're happy that we're just coming past this aspect of the internal politics so we can focus on the 2025 general and regional election.
Constitutional reform, discrimination, and other developments in the country are among other issues on the agenda. Duncan also said preparations are well on the way and proceeding as scheduled. The conference is expected to attract more than 300 delegates, in addition to observers and guests.
Very seriously, getting back to the grassroots of our party, getting back to the base. We did a lot of that over the last 2 years, traveling the length and breadth of the country, pulling back our members together. You know, people feel differently after the loss of an election, and so we had that task and spent a lot of time doing that.
Mr. Duncan said in alignment with the party's commitment to democratic practices and full membership participation, nomination day is set for June 12th. Nominations will be open for all the key leadership positions. Additionally, all regional management committee chairpersons will serve on the executive committee to ensure regional representation. The AFC said the executive committee will also include representatives from the party's youth arm and its women arm also.
2 day and night facilities will be constructed in Regions 2 and 4 to provide a safe space for the children of working parents. Monies will also be spent to rehabilitate and improve the facilities at the Sophia Care Center and Mahaika Children's Home. This $287 million investment is part of the 2024 national budget, which is supported by revenues earned from oil production.
Your excitement and win the chance of a lifetime with Lucosade Energize Your Drive promotion. Enter to win a fully loaded Toyota CHR or a ton of cash. $500,000 and $250,000 respectively. Just purchase 2 or more Lucosade 360 milliliter at participating outlets. Write your contact details on the back of the receipt and place them in the marked boxes nationwide. It's that simple. And you're on your way to Energize Your Drive with Lucosade. This promotion runs April 12th to June 7th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply.
Mobil 1 is more than oil. It's many oils. It transforms at the molecular level. When cold, it's thicker than honey. When hot, it's thinner than water. Mobil 1 adapts and readapts to last longer. 16,000 kilometers between oil changes. That's your engine evolved.
Sol Guyana is the authorized distributor of Mobil lubricants.
was Diora last year. It was so nice. Me and them girls had real fun. Best party ever went to. How's a big one?
Back by Pop on Demand, Team Extra present the Bad Birthday. June 22nd, 12 one-man bands running live. Stitchy Fight Machine, Murphy Invasion Band, Love Connection, Genesis, Big B, Cali World Band, Aaron the Entertainer, Water Spoon, and many more. Early bird tickets at $2,000 at Just You Size Boutique, White Castle Fish Shop, Fireside Suites, Extra Beer, Starbucks, compliments of Fireside Suites, Extra Energy Drink, and Extra Beer. The Band's Birthday, Saturday, June 22nd at the National Park.
Well, following today's announcement by the PNC Reform leader Aubrey Norton of the dates for the party's Congress and elections, party executive and member of Parliament Amanda Walton Desir officially indicated her readiness to accept nominations for the position of party leader and other top party positions. Speaking to news source today, Ms. Walton Desir, who is also an attorney, said she had long been approached by a number of groups within the party to run for key positions within the PNC, and she intends to do so once nominated.
The short answer is yes. Once nominated, I will run. A number of groups have reached out to me asking me to consider running, and then I've responded to them today in the affirmative, now that we know that we'll be having a Congress at the end of June.
Currently, Walton Desir sits on the Central Executive Committee of the PNC Reform, and according to her, she is willing to run for a number of positions in the party.
I think the state of our country and the point that we are at as a party requires that if your members see a certain ability in you and they honor that by way of a nomination, it's something that has to be taken seriously.
She said in the coming days she will continue to meet with the various groups within the PNC, even as the party finalizes the administrative arrangements for the much anticipated Congress. She anticipates that it will be a well-run Congress that will unite the party even more ahead of next year's general elections.
This is not really a one-man or one-woman show, but that it has to be a team effort. And so, I look forward to a well-run Congress. I look forward to us coming together after that and reclaiming government come 2025.
PNC Reform leader Aubrey Norton has already signaled his desire to seek re-election. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton has frowned on the government's announcement that it will write off the student loans to thousands of University of Guyana graduates. Earlier this week, the government announced a plan to write off student loans. During a press conference today, the opposition leader said the plan announced by the government comes nowhere close to making university education free as it promised. He said the move by the government ignores those who are currently in the system and those who are paying cash or using loans and from other institutions, and the focus on debt write-off will have limited impact as many graduates have migrated.
Guyana is in a desperate need of higher education and skills training because historically the share of our population possessing vital qualifications has been limited. Development of the oil industry and its potential impact on the wider economy have only made this need more acute. And so we believe that we must maximize access to education for all Guyanese, while also improving its quality and the range of courses and skills on offer. We must therefore incentivize study and training while investing in our learning institutions.
Norton also said there should be a more comprehensive plan for the university and persons who choose to attend the university.
Rather than the flimsy, ill-advised debt relief government has on offer, we believe the University of Guyana must be made a tuition-free university immediately. The University of Guyana's government allocation must be increased by several billions of dollars, bearing in mind the institution's plans for expansion. All graduates who paid in cash or partially repaid their student loans must be reimbursed with a minimum of conditions. All students at the university, as well as any other institution of higher learning, should receive a monthly stipend of $50,000 a month, with priority given to those who are not employed.
The opposition APNU AFC has promised to make university election free once elected to office. Education Minister Priya Manak-Chan took to her social media page this afternoon to complain about the unavailability of the written ruling, which was handed down by Justice Sandra Kissoon in the case that was filed by the Guyana Teachers Union against the Ministry of Education and the government. Justice Kissoon handed down that ruling on the 19th of April, blocking the government from cutting the salaries of striking teachers, and also ordering the government to continue to deduct union dues from the salaries of teachers on behalf of the Guyana Teachers Union. In a Facebook post this afternoon, the Education Minister, Ms. Manak-Chan, who previously did not offer any comments on the ruling, said she is perplexed and worried that the judgment which was handed down in April remains unavailable to the parties involved and the public. The statement by Manak-Chan, who is also an attorney, followed a similar concern raised by the Attorney General Anil Nandlal, who has indicated that the government is in the process of appealing the ruling by Justice Kissoon.
We have not yet received that written ruling, although the judge said from the bench when he was delivering the judgment that we will get it shortly after. He read, from what I understand, was a prepared text, and he said so, and therefore it ought not to take a long time to make it available. Well, I believe it was delivered in April, on the 19th of April, and today is, what date? The 14th. 1 month has gone, and we are still to receive the judgment. I had planned to wait for the judgment to be delivered before I file my appeal. But since we are now running out of time, I will have to proceed to file my appeal and make my application for a stay.
In the ruling, which turned out to be a big win for the teachers and their union, Justice Kissoon lambasted the government for not engaging the GTU in collective bargaining, despite the many requests by the union to get the process started. He also questioned the credibility of the Chief Education Officer, who was a witness in the case, and questioned too the work of the Labor Department. Teachers resumed their strike action last week to press the government to begin collective bargaining on the 2019 to 2023 proposals. The government wants to boycott that period and instead focus on this year and the years ahead. The two sides have been meeting with the Chief Labor Officer on the issue. The meetings are set to continue next Monday.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo, from its pristine rivers to its abundant resources. It's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Gaya's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Gaya Oil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Holiday spending put a dent in your cash. Top up your pockets in the Cash Splash promotion. Win over $5 million, including over $1 million in our weekly draws. Just purchase any Buster, Turbo, Fruita, Cool Kids, or Viva. Look for the 8-digit code starting with 786. Then visit Facebook or IG at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean for more details.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, the Bahamas government has announced plans to amend current firearms legislation to encompass a broader range of illegal weapons, according to CMC. Additionally, there are intentions to enhance restrictions for individuals eligible to obtain a licensed firearm. Attorney General Ryan Pinder told the Senate that the legislation would also deal with 3D printed guns and those assembled from home kits, as well as restrict people with criminal backgrounds, substance abuse issues, or mental health disorders from obtaining a gun license. He said the government will soon lay before the House a new Firearms Act. The Attorney General said the law would prohibit the acquisition of high-powered firearms, assault weapons, submachine and machine guns, as well as ammunition for those weapons or component parts. Any accessories that can convert a licensed firearm into one of these prohibited weapons would also be legal. It may also include a provision for routine inspection of a firearm in possession of a licensed gun owner to ensure it has not been illegally modified. Suriname Airways has announced that an interline partnership has been entered with Windward Islands Airways International, WinAir, a renowned carrier with more than 60 years of experience in the Caribbean. This partnership allows Suriname Airways to expand its network and provide customers with more travel options to the Caribbean, Dutch Antilles, South America, and Europe. This partnership will also allow travelers same-day connections to islands beyond St. Martin, such as Antigua, Dominica, Tortola, and more. The collaboration between Suriname Airways and WinAir comes as a response to the evolving needs of modern travelers who seek seamless and stress-free journeys. By joining forces, both airlines aim to provide customers with great connectivity and convenience through their entire travel journey. This collaboration provides passengers a streamlined booking process, purchasing tickets for multi-leg journeys involving both airlines, making a booking to travel, for example, to St. Martin via Aruba, easier and more convenient. And finally tonight, international news. Israeli forces have recovered the bodies of 3 hostages from Gaza, the Israel Defense Forces (IDF) say. The IDF said they had been murdered on October 7 and their remains taken back to Gaza. BBC said the local media reported that the bodies were found in a Hamas tunnel. About 1,200 people were killed in an unprecedented attack when Hamas gunmen burst into Israel. They took 252 others back to Gaza as hostages. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the news heartbreaking. In a statement, the IDF said the bodies had been recovered in an operation overnight. It said it had acted on intelligence gleaned from interrogations of terrorists, who had been detained in Gaza. It said the 3 victims had been killed at an intersection near the site of the Nova Festival massacre in southern Israel before their bodies were taken to Gaza. More than 360 people were killed at the festival. About 125 hostages remain unaccounted for, with the others having been released or rescued. The Hostages Family Forum, a group bringing together relatives of those being held, said they bow their heads in deep sorrow, with broken hearts following the announcement. Under a deal agreed in November, Hamas released 105 hostages in return for a week-long ceasefire and some 240 Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails. It is not clear how many of those unaccounted for are still alive. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.